Now, I'll tell you what, it just gets better with the illicit tobacco market, all the gang crime and arson that it's funding. Now, you know, if only because I keep banging on about it, that all this has been caused by the federal government jacking up the tobacco excise. So crime gangs saw a market and moved in, and they sell much cheaper packs illegally, which clearly people want to buy because they don't want to pay $40, $50 for a packet of cigarettes. And crime gangs, by the way, controlled 39% of the total cigarette market last year. They're predicted to have 64% of the market by the end of next year, just staggering. But it's not the federal government that has to clean up the mess, it's the states. And the states don't really have the resources. They'd rather be dealing with real crime. So have a look at Queensland. The Sunday Mail reported today that shops that had multiple warnings for illegal tobacco and nicotine products are rebranding before they can be shut down. So they just change themselves into an alleged candle shop or lolly shop or even an Indian grocer. So in effect, it's a new shop and they just keep right on going, selling illegal cigarettes until they're caught again. Like every day, Holly, now there is another story demonstrating just how ridiculous this whole thing has become. And still, the federal government just goes, la, 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 no problem here.
But the health department have a lot to answer for when it comes to this, because within the federal health department is just a complete anti-tobacco zealotry. The reality is Australian smoking levels are probably at the lowest they've ever been, and they're at a level now where they're not really going to drop any further. So the excise that was sort of part of the plan to sort of get people off cigarettes, it's hit market saturation. The people that are going to be committed to smoking, they're committed to smoking. And these cigarettes are now being sold under the counter. But it factors in as well with the vapes and the way, I mean, I chaired the inquiry to it. They should be legalised, they should be regulated, and they should be quality controlled, and they should be taxed properly without ridiculous excise. And you would find that there, I mean, you know where I live in Sydney, you can walk. You can't throw a tennis ball without hitting 8 stores that are selling them and openly selling them. And I mean, I remember going into one of the little convenience stores and one of the people that we see all the time on the street, one of the homeless guys, walks in and he said, "Mate, can I buy a cigarette?" The guy opened a drawer and sold him one cigarette for $2. Like, completely open. Like, didn't wait for me to leave the store, was not thinking, oh, we'll try and keep a cover up here. This is just blatant. And, you know, there are things that can be done. Ever since these ridiculous excises have just got to the point. But also, to Kel's previous point, the punishment matching the crime, there is no punishment, particularly for the big illegal organised crime gangs. The fines or the punishment for selling vapes, importing illegal tobacco, any of those things, it's a slap on the wrist. It is way more lucrative than them bringing in heroin. I know. So that's why they've all moved. And
look at where a lot of that money is going.
Mango flavoured juice.
It doesn't matter what the fines will be as long as enough people don't get caught and as long as there is enough of a market incentive there. By making the legal product so expensive, it means you can make huge amounts of money off the illegal product and sell it for, you know, still quite a lot and reap in all those.
And look at where that money is. A lot of that money is going over to Iran. And then we're told recently that there have been...
You pay on card too.
Yeah, I know.
They don't even get you to pay cash.
There are crimes being committed in this country at the direction of Iran. People might start asking questions about where money is going. That's all I'm saying.
Well, at least that's money's coming back into the Australian economy.
Yeah, fantastic. But it is these shops that you mentioned, Holly, they are an absolute blight, Joe. I mean, they just litter the landscape. The federal government, if they're going to maintain this tax, has to give a shed load more money to the states to actually crack down on this stuff, because the states got their hands tied. They can't deal with this. The mistake
the federal government has made is by trying to extinguish tobacco addiction and then not giving people anywhere else to go. And so you had this, again, in every other comparable country, New Zealand, Canada, UK. In the UK, they actually send out vaping kits to smokers and say, here you go, here are your vapes, just switch over, because we know that it's much, much less damaging for you. And instead, the federal government, because it has been pressured by this extremist
Oh, they're crazy. No. These people are genuinely nuts.
I know them really well, and I've done work with people trying to stop them and mitigate it. They've just been saying, right, no, that's it, zero tolerance, cold turkey. And so what do people do? Every single person goes on the vapes, where you've got more than 1 million Australians who are vaping, and they're not all doing it legally, or they're just...
Basically, no one's doing it legally.
Well, you can actually still... This is the interesting... You can actually still
the only one who does it legally in the country.
So they can't, but the pharmacist, it was seriously, I won't use the real names, but the online shop I used to get it for says, terrible news, thank you for your loyalty as a customer, but Big John's vape store is shutting down.
Yeah.
In better news, Big John's pharmacy is starting up. So just send us your little prescription. And so
Joe is about the only client they actually have in the country, which tells you how well it's going.